BC. What's up, guys? Back on here doing the Blue Note 4149. Hank Mobley, no room for squares. Literally, no room for squares. And I believe Mobley got this title. He just forwarded that to the critics. Early 63, all the critics were saying Mobley's done. They didn't like any of his stuff. They think that since all of this stuff was being played, a lot of the new players out there, like Coltrane, and you got your Andrew Hill. I mean, all of those, you got these new guys, a lot of these new guys that's been out just hammering them, bringing out classics after classics. Donald Byrd, Freddie Hubbard, you got all these guys. Mobley said, you know what? I got to get back in the studio, call up some people that I definitely want on this record. First person he calls, of course, he goes with Lee, the delightful Lee. He grabbed Lee, which he played with him on Pecking Time in the late 50s. Grabbed him. He ended up doing 2 sessions with this album. The first session was Lee Morgan, Andrew Hill, a young Andrew Hill, which is I would describe him as Monk meets Evans meets the Future. John Orr on bass, which he played on. He's known for playing with Monk. He played on Monk at the Black Hawk, and then of course the incomparable Philly Joe Jones, the Sticks man. Love his playing. Loved him on Nuke's Time. Nuke's Time, he was awesome. He played even on Miles. He played with Miles too on a lot of those Miles albums. And with that first one, you got three-way split, straight hard bop right off the bat. Carolyn. Since you heard it's Carolyn, the lady name is Carolyn, you know that was written by Lee Morgan. Lee Morgan crafted another bluesy, ballady number, Carolyn. And then the title track. Oh, the title track is one you must hear. Definitely that's the highlight of this album. The playing, the solos. You could tell that Mobley has something to prove. But you would sit back and think, why would Mobley have something to prove when she did 2 great albums in the past? Soul Station, Roll Call. He didn't have nothing to prove. He's already legendary. Started off in the mid-50s. Man, they call him the middleweight champion. He's still the champion. Me and You, with that first group. Oh, Philly Joe Jones on this, man. The hi-hat, the way he plays. That's a Latin number. That's Morgan wrote that one, Me and You. Straight drumming and the hi-hat. You could tell that it's playing. Philly Joe is so underrated. To me, he's right up there with the Blakeys, the Jones, and the Williams. Oh. And then the second lineup, Donald Byrd, a young Herbie Hancock, Butch Warren, and Philly Joe Jones. And the funny thing about it, if you read this, Hank Mobley, Herbie Hancock, and Philly Joe Jones, you're going to 3 different eras. They played on, each one of them was on 3 different eras of Miles Davis quintet. It's just crazy. They all played with Miles. This is awesome. Up a Step, another Mobley number. It's in that mode. It's very modal. It's almost in that mode. And I could tell why he used Donald Byrd on there, because it has that feelings of Fuego. Fuego that Donald Byrd did back in the late 50s, early 60s. It has that fuego moto, the changes. And then the closer, old world, new imports. I think he's talking about a car or something, but still, it's just so cool. Mobley didn't play. The guy's writing, still top notch. This was a big album when it was released. And it was right before, I call it the new era. This was released in early 64. This was around the same time as all of those other albums that were coming out, like the Jackie McLean's and you know, all of those guys coming out, Gretchen Moncour, Sam Rivers, stuff like that. But Mobley still had that foot firmly down on the ground, letting everybody know he's still here. He's still the man. I'd like to thank Sherv, Rob Sounds Strange, and also David Local Pornography for letting me do these Blue Notes. Revisiting this album was where is that, man. I love just these Blue Notes, man. I wish I could own them all original copies. This is an original copy that I purchased back in 2017 along with that U Turnaround. I bought it from the same collection. Some guy wrote Cole on the back of it. That's how I always know it's from the same collection. But this is when I was finding a lot of Blue Notes. I didn't. The price of this is just surprisingly, but I got a great deal on it. But yes, that was this is my Blue Note addiction, man. I love having the Blue Notes, man. 4149, Hank Mobley. No room for squares. Peace.